let's ask the women on the panel. Like, how many years are you willing to give your man?
How long are we waiting until y'all
grind it out
to where y'all need to be?
Grind it out to get to that point where he can fully financially take care of you and the family himself. I'll start with you, Lexi. How many years are you going to give your man?
I'll give him.
Be honest now. Be honest.
Whew, because this, you know the situation, right? I'll like looking back at where I was. I'll give you a good two, and that's being generous.
What do you need to see after the 2 years? What do you need to see after the 2 years?
Two, maybe 3 years. Because anything after that, I feel like we're going to be stagnant and we're just going to be comfortable in that space that we're at. And it's going to be hard for us to kind of climb that ladder.
Yeah. Okay. What do you need to see after the 2 years?
I need to see progress that we're not going to just be here stuck. Because I feel like we're stuck, right? And you're stuck at that 40. Would you say 40?
Yeah, if he's making 40
in 2 years, he should be making what? How are we going to get to that 70?
How are we
eventually going to get to that 85? Because 40.
Damien, this was 25 years ago, right? So that's like 50, 60
yeah, I'm old. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You said
I'm 48, so it's just like $40,000 was like 65, 70,000.
So when Damien asked you that 70 was decent, you said no. For you, for you, what is decent for you as far as his ability to in his income? What is decent for you
nowadays?
Yeah,
because the men's wardrobe is kind of touching my wardrobe, my numbers. So we both trying to look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for you,
I'm not in sweats all the time. So and he needs to be the sole breadwinner. I'm staying back.
Yeah, sole breadwinner, and you get to be the feminine woman.
If you have children, if you got children, not just you just laying up eating bonbons. If you have children,
definitely have kids over here. Okay. So we got to almost touch 6.
So 6 figures.
Almost touch 6.
Okay, so if you met a man that made less than 6 figures, and
I mean, like 85 to like 85, 90 being the least, because at this new day and age, and I just rather work too, because I don't want to feel like I have to be your child and ask you, oh, can I get my allowance? Huh?
Yeah.
Let me just have my own. Because
it generally doesn't work that way. It's like you are managing the household, so you know what's in the budget, and the things that you get, you need, you get. It's not like, but if what you're thinking, I want to go and buy this bag, then that's maybe a discussion. But if you like the bills, things you need to maintain the house, things like that, and like whatever, it's there for you. It's not like you got to be like, please let me get, $100 for something,
Well, if he's masculine, he should just know that I want the bag.
I feel like everybody's situation is different. Sometimes
they always want the bag.
This is where we fail as a society to.
I
think this.
Let me go down the list, Balofessa, and I'll come right back at you. So, thank you, Lexi. Kia Monet, what is your decent amount that you want your man to make, and how many years are you willing to allow your man to work towards to get to that point?
Truthfully, money-wise, I'm not sure just yet. I'm single and I have no kids. Okay, so that's right now. I would make a plan with him. So what I would do is I would sit down, I'll make a plan like, okay, you know what? This is your 3-month goal. This is your 6-month goal, a year goal, whatever goal, and keep going. And you have to hit that mark with me. If you're not hitting that mark with me, then I will let you go ASAP. I don't have no time to waste. I did it already for 5 years with somebody else. I'm not doing it again. Personally, with me though, how they're talking about like with bags and all that, with me, I'm different. I want to invest with my man. I want to like build a house, things like that. I don't care for a bag. I don't care for all of that bullshit. I'll be in sweats, t-shirt, hair messy. That's just me, how I always been in my life. I don't care for the fancy stuff because I'm not gonna lie, when I grew up, we're poor. We didn't have a lot of money. So I'm always tight with my money. Till this day, I'm still tight with my money. So I make sure that I'm spending my shit on important shit, especially with all the stuff that's going on with the world. So that's just me personally.
But you brought up Drake. You brought up Ballers and Drake.
I know, but I'm just saying, I said, if you guys want to sit up there and have a woman stay home, make sure your funds are correct is all I'm saying, in order for a woman to do that. And I'm saying now in 2023, men are not able to do that because it's a lot going on out here. So a woman would have to work, is what I said.
Okay, and then Kia Monet, if you happen to meet a man that was working towards that, like how many years are you willing to give him to make sure that he accomplishes the things he needs to accomplish before you start looking somewhere else?
Truthfully, as long as he's hitting that mark, I'm not going to leave him.
Okay.
As long as he's hitting the marks that me and him both agreed on, I will not.
Okay, as long as he's hitting the marks, it's incrementally getting better. You're gonna stay with him. You're gonna rock with him.
Yeah, we on the same. We agree then.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
We did.
All right. Let me pass it to you, Jessica. Jessica, well, for you, what do you if the man's gonna be the sole provider, protector, pay all the bills, you have the option to stay home or do other things. You take care of the kids. What is a decent amount for you to be comfortable with the lifestyle that he's providing for you? And of course, if you happen to meet a man that's not there yet, how many years are you willing to give him to work to get to that point? So that way you can trust the lifestyle in the future that you have. It's going to be secure.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be 150, 200K for sure. For me to say,
Okay.
What was that?
Okay, 150.
Life's expensive, and especially if you want me to stay, I don't need to stay home. I don't, you know what I mean? But so if you want me to, then we're going to live good.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to stay home and have you provide for me so that we can just be doing the bare minimum. You know, I want to enjoy life. I want to have
You open to dating a 50-year-old man. You only dating a 50-year-old dude?
Wait, what?
Are you open to dating a 50-year-old dude?
It's reaching a little. 50's a little.
But because it's 50-year-old dudes that are making the $200,000.
Absolutely not.
The average.
Yeah, on average.
Yeah, the average.
Hold on, let me pull up some numbers. Keep going. I'm going to pull up some numbers about income just to.
At least in the 40s.
Give me a second.
You are not 50. 150. You
wait. No. You said two very different numbers. Jessica said 150 to 200K. You just said at least 40. Oh, 40s. I see what you mean. In the age.
Yeah,
Give me a second.
At least in the mid 40s, like 50.
Yeah.
Papa.
40's good. I'll
40's good.
Marry a 40-year-old. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 150, and then Jessica, if you happen to meet a man that's not there yet, but he's constantly working, how many years are you willing to give him to make sure he gets to that point?
To be able to keep me at home.
Keep you at home.
Yeah, probably like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
I'm not giving it a lot of time. Again, because I mean, I know this whole topic is about, you know, would we want to attract traditional masculine? I don't even know if I'm into that, you know? So it's like, I don't need you to take care of me. You know, I want you to, but I don't need you to. So I'm not going to be wasting time, you know, to not get what I can give myself.
Oh,
I got some numbers. So let's see. We'll start with age 35 since you're 31, right? I think you said earlier. So
yeah,
usually women date at least a couple years older than them. So at age 35, the median income is 69. So you're the lower end of like the age of the guys you date, where you're about double. This is average for the U.S. Let's see here, and then 150. The lower end of your range is the 92nd percentile, so about 1 in 12. And again, the 1 in 12 that fit your preference, they're probably, you know, they're half of them are shorter than 5'10". I don't know how many out of 10 guys you find attractive, but say you find 1 in 4 guys attractive, we're already down to like 2 in 100. And then half of those guys are married, so we're down to 1 in 100. You know. So those numbers dwindle pretty quick when you say things like 150K. Now the numbers will look a little better if I change the age to 50. Okay, we'll say 45 because you said that's a stretch.
Yeah, like come on, Papa.
Yeah, 50.
Hey. I'm a year and a half away from 50.
Okay. So the income percentile for 150K, so the lower end of your range, goes down to 89, 90%. So now 1 in 10 instead of 1 in 12. So the lower end for what you want is about 1 in 12 guys. And again, that's before you look at how attractive they are, whether they're married or not. They have to be attracted to you, obviously. So my question to tie this all back to the conversation is how many, and that's just one qualifying factor, income. Again, how many men would our grandparents rule out with a minimum income compared to, on average, how many men this generation rules out? And this all ties into what it takes to raise a family. Like now, it feels like it takes a little bit more to raise a family, but I would say that, we're paying for daycare because women work. So it's like this endless cycle. Women wanted to enter the workforce. Well, now they have to pay for daycare. Okay, the cost of raising a family just went up because that was labor that the wife would, put into the family. Now you doubled the supply of labor. So every woman, and this is a hot take, but every woman that kills it at school, and women are 66% of college graduates now. Every surgeon that's a woman is a woman that's a lot less likely to get married because women tend to only marry socioeconomically equal or up. So every prestigious spot like that is a man could have been a man that provided for a family, right? I'm not saying, if a woman earned that spot, then, kudos to her. But it's interesting that women are like trying their absolute hardest to beat men out in school and in the workforce, and then they're complaining that men don't have, jobs, and there aren't enough men that, as this example showed, make enough money for every woman to have a man that meets their financial standards. But they're working as hard as they possibly can to take those jobs that men would need to be able to meet their financial standards. So it's like this catch-22. It's interesting though, and I don't have a solution. It's just, modern growing pains.
Okay, let me just read this super chat real quick, and I'll pass it to Balafessa. I know Balafessa, thank you for jumping on as a public guest. And you want to add on? Freudian slip, thank you so much. Shout out to you for your super chat. Every man and woman in my office makes over 100K. The men that are married, their wives look like models. These women would not cut it. My 54-year-old boss is married to a 26-year-old former swimsuit model. These women are insane. All right, thank you so much for this slip. As always, if you want your voice to be heard, you can drop it through a super chat. I'll be able to read it and respond to you guys. And don't forget, this is a public show. So if you do want to jump on and be part of the conversation, we do have some room on the panel. Whether you agree or disagree, jump on the link is in the description below, and you'll be able to click on it and jump on. I'll pass it to you, Balafessa. Balafessa, thank you for jumping on. I know you wanted to add on to the conversation. Go ahead. Thank you for jumping on as a public guest.
Yeah, I'm going to add on to an earlier point regarding this idea that the men that we're trying to describe as masculine, traditional men are going to safeguard their money. I think a vast majority of those characteristics in a man, most of the women are typically the one that managing the household finances. Vast majority of those type of men. So this idea that you have to beg this man for some allowances, I don't know where we've gotten that perception from. And unfortunately, you women have taken that on as, I don't want to be with a traditional man because I have to beg. Very different dynamic. And I implore you to try and find these particular type of men and have conversation with them, because it's vastly different than what it's been described. You will manage the money if you find that type of man.